What do you think is going to happen at the end of this movie? Do you think Osasi Godaro, who is Bisola in this movie, is going to change herself, stop being a tomboy, or true love to find her? Or is a man going to come across and love her just this way that she is? Ruth Kadiri has, in numerous occasions been accused of making content that is not only patriarchal but pick-me-ish. And today's movie is like no different. Hello, and you're welcome on the pilot episode of What is Ruth Kadiri Doing? If you do not know who Ruth Kadiri is for some reason, Ruth Kadiri is a Nigerian filmmaker, producer. She is an actress too, so she acts a lot of movies. But that is not like technically what she's mostly known for. What she is known for, the thing that has shot her to her place of prominence in the movie industry, is her low budget YouTube movies. She is one of the pioneers of low budget YouTube movies, and so far she has over 3 million YouTube subscribers. For a Nigerian creator, that is a lot. She puts out one movie weekly. That is for you to see how these movies are made, the short time in which they are made, and there is something that helps keep that system running, and that is just not caring too much. And what this not caring too much is the fact that the script doesn't have to be too serious, the actors don't have to give an Oscar-worthy performance. It's just like very conventionally attractive people coming together and doing the most basic stage play there is. But for some reason it works, because she's getting like over 1 million views. She is the it girl of YouTube, if you can say that, and she features in almost all her movies. The things you're going to see in a Ruth Kadiri movie: Ruth Kadiri always gets a man. There is a love triangle. There are very attractive men and women, especially buff men, and it is also very patriarchy coded. It tries to just tiptoe around the borders of wokeness, these sprinkles of progressiveness. At the end of the day, the underlying messages are usually patriarchal and sometimes downright misogynistic. Like, for example, this movie that I saw, at some point in the movie, I really had to hold myself, because oh my god, there are some things that very patriarchal, very misogynistic. There are just some things that you will see in some of her movies and you just want to pluck your eyes out. And one of that movie is what we're going to be discussing today. The title of the movie is Heart's Budget. There is Osasi Godaro, beautiful actress. But what she's doing in this movie, I wish I could tell you. So now when somebody tells you like a movie, the title of a movie is Heart Budget, what would you think this movie would want to just talk about? Honestly, I went in with zero expectations. And one thing about me, on some Sundays, Ruth Kadiri goes really hard. It goes really well. When you just want to turn off your medulla oblongata and let whatever it is that she has to give take you, because most of our movies have like a soap opera-ish feel to them. It's just like it's not like people reading lines at each other, and then sometimes in between there is sprinkled really good acting. The script is as basic as possible, like from point A to point B, so much so that we start to place bets when we watch these movies. So in this particular movie, when you hear Heart Budget, I don't know what you would think it's all about. I went in with, I don't even know what I was trying to go in, but I actually knew people were going to fall in love inside the movie, basically Heart Budget. But then the movie begins, and in the very, very first scene, we see Osasi Godaro. She's like a tomboy. So she's playing game on her phone, like trying so hard to be manly and everything. And her supposed boyfriend walks into the parlor and she's like, honey, what happened? Did you not get the contract or whatever? And he's like, he got it. And she's like, okay, you got it. So are you still not happy? She was now talking about, I'm going to take you to this place and that place. And in between statement, he cuts her off and he's like, I want a breakup.
Amazing restaurant that I want to take you to. It has the best shrimp scampi. My baby's gonna love it, man.
And she's like, excuse me, you want to break up with me? I didn't hear you correctly. And she went on this more like emotional sandwich where she's like, please, 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 baby, don't leave me. And then she goes back to like, after all I've done for you, I gave you my money. And the boy was like, you did, you wanted to do all those things. And she's like, why? Why are you leaving me? And the guy then tells her like, look at yourself. But was like, look at yourself. See what you're wearing. You look like a man. I dress better than you. And when the camera like panned on her, I just hardly could get what he was saying because you were like, I don't know. Just there's something about masculinity and all its vibe that I understand why nobody wants to be around it, because what is this? What is she wearing? Anyways, so the guy was not telling her that I can't be with you because of this thing that you be doing. And eventually he packed his stuff and left the house. And as it turns out, the job he just got that promotion for, the job that he's been working at, she helped him get that job. The company belongs to her cousin, and she pulled strings for him to get the job. And you know, he eventually moves his things out of her house. And right into the next scene, we see this very good looking, I told you, attractive men. We see this very attractive, conventionally attractive young man. He walks into the sitting room and he's on his phone, and the very first question his mother asked him is, tell me the truth, are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Happy Pride Month, y'all. I completely forgot. This is who she is. Like, what does that have to do with whatever the movie is all about? But the guy is like, Mom, this again, you asking me.
Who says I'm gay?
Sorry. But the movies usually have like a skit-like feeling to them. Oh, that's so funny. That's so hilarity. Anyways, the guy was telling his mom, like, you keep asking me this thing. The mom is not like, you don't have a baby mama, you don't have this, you don't have that.
You are gay.
Why are you gay, bruh? And he said, no mama, I ain't gay. And he's only trying to be disciplined to keep himself well. And his mother told him, well, I have found somebody for you. I don't get how you do it as long as you give me grandchildren. And just points of fact, the mother is very, very icky. She's too much. She doesn't know her boundaries, crosses all human boundaries, and that is not something that should be encouraged and promoted. But anyways, after that conversation with his mother about why are you gay, Brad goes to have a conversation with his friend, and in the conversation he talks about how he has a problem getting his man up. What word can I use that would be like, you know, sufficient? Because the conversation is about how he does not get erect. He does not get erections. The conversation is about how he once tried with a girl and it didn't work out, and the girl embarrassed him. So his friend was asking, what are you going to do? Because like this thing was a big problem with them. But the friend is like, but the doctor said you're okay. I'm not supposed to be laughing because like it's a serious issue. But he told his friend that he's not going to marry the girl his mom is recommending, blah blah blah, that he's going to do his mind. And you know, that was basically it. And then after that conversation, they showed Bisola, you know, the tomboy from the beginning. She went to her cousin's office. Her cousin is Nicole. So she went to Nicole's office and was telling Nicole, remember, she helps that her ex-boyfriend gets his job. And she was telling Nicole to fire him, which is like a very, very dirty behavior in my opinion. Okay, I get you got him the job, but then because people have broken up, you're now going to his workplace to tell the person. And a lot of people are actually capable of doing this thing. But fortunately, Nicole was like, no, his personal life has no business here. You recommended him for that job, but he got it because he was qualified. And she went on this very stupid monologue that I blame the script writers for. She's like, you have hit me when I'm down. I mean, feeling that your cousin's betrayal to you is the fact that she will not fire her employee because of a problem that you have with him is diabolical. It's crazy. It does not show you as a very good person. So right off the bat, this main character that they want us to be rooting for, I don't like her. She was being bratty. I just didn't like it. So at this point, one thing you can appreciate this movie for is the fact that they get to their point very quickly. Like the very first scene, you already know the protagonist, you already know the villain, you already know the plot line. you already even know like what the movie is about. They just give it to you straight there, direct and simple. You know what is at stake. You know what's the so now it is your turn to place your bets. The next thing you can do as a reasonable person is to bet. What do you think is going to happen at the end of this movie? Do you think Osasi Godaro, who is Bisola in this movie, is going to change herself, stop being a tomboy, to find true love, for true love to find her? Or is a man going to come across and love her just this way that she is, the tomboy that is her and everything? So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to place your bets. Take your time. Which one is it going to be? A, she'll be loved the way she is, or B, she will have to change herself to find love. Is that A or C? Anyways, so after that conversation, Nicole is in a bar with Brad's mom, and Brad's mom is going off like the bratty person that she is. Like, I think you and my son should get together, you're single. And turns out Nicole is 28 while Brad is pushing 40. So you see the standard of the age limit that has been created here. Nicole 28, and people are already telling her marry. But Brad, he's nearing 40. These are choices that are being made for reasons that are very, very societal, and with all that in line with all the things that Ruth Kadiri is accused of representing. So while Nicole is having this conversation with Brad's mom, Brad walks in like mid-sentence, like, what is it, mom? A woman does not need a Mrs. title to be relevant, and blah blah blah.
Even the title of Mrs. to be relevant.
Exactly, he's right.
And Nicole was pretending to be intimidated. Nicole was like, yes, ma, we don't need that. We're only good as friends. But the woman was saying, no, don't make me drag you to the altar. Like, she's literally going to force them to get married or what? Well, eventually she gets them to agree to go on dates and see where they lead to from there. And then next thing, they show this Bisola again. She is at that man's workplace, like she is crashing out really bad. And I sympathize with you if you're hurt, if you're heartbroken, but then going around his job is literally stalker behavior. It's not nice. It does not tell well of you. And yeah, it kind of actually shows why somebody would think you're unhinged and not want to be with you. And the ex even mentioned it in the beginning of the movie that she is always ready to throw hands. So she comes to his workplace and she's telling him, like, after all I did for you, after you took all my money, now you see you're not attracted to me. After you have, and the man was literally like giving her bomb and say, my mother say you marry somebody like he's got, I mean, like she's gonna kill herself because what kind of man wants to spend his life married to an unattractive woman like you? He said it plain and simple. Like, she was just cursing herself, insults that this boy was giving it to her. He had no mercy. Anyway, the Mumu ex-boyfriend now ordered her to never come back to that building again, and he has given security instructions to never let her into that building again. And I'm like, person goes in building, I am the corporate system, I know how it works. Who are you? Because you work in a building, you just go and tell security, don't ever let, what if that person has business in the building? Anyways, of course she was heartbroken, so she left. And then the next time we see Brad and Nicole, they're on a date. Brad initially wanted to cancel. You can see he's very, very reluctant. And at this point, we are wondering what exactly is wrong with Brad. Why does he not want to hang with these beautiful women? What's the problem? What is the sinister things occurring in the background? Is he actually gay? Anyways, they go on the date and they seem to have a good time. They seem to have fun. They go home and Nicole is telling Brad, oh, you're such a gentleman. We can see that she's falling for him now, and she tells him to come into my room, take me. Brad told her no, he don't want to go into her room because he's either disciplined or he doesn't like women, which are both good things. After their date, Nicole and Brad goes home to his very weird mother, who is in a full face of makeup, and she's like, give me the date. He's like, what date? We just went on. What date? And she's like, the date of your wedding. He's like, this is just a first date. Mommy, calm down. and she was fuming, threatening, saying that she would do all types of things. She's a very weird woman. I didn't like her. I still do not like her. Anyways, after that, Bisola again goes to meet Nicole in her office, still with the same topic that she should fire her ex-boyfriend. And this time around, Nicole completely insults her. Like, look at you need to clean yourself up. You're very dirty. Look at me and look at you. If man come now, between our two, who do you think a man will select? Yes, this is 2025. These are the kind of dialogues that are still happening in Ruth Kadiri movies, and the pick me element is very, very like on the nose. Nothing is subtle in this instance. Everything is right on the nose. And Nicole is like giving it to Bisola. Bisola was just so humble. She's like, I've been looking like this. I've been dressing like this. So you're trying to tell me that a woman like me cannot find a man to love her? And that is even like something that is weird about the movie, because I mean, she dresses like this. She's a tomboy. Obviously, like they could have just made her like girls to advance the plot. Nicole thoroughly insults Bisola, and Bisola goes home and is crying in frustration. And next thing, her mother comes like, open this door, Bisola. And next thing, we see Bisola's mom has taken Bisola to Nicole's house, and this conversation is happening about how she's not good enough, how this her dressing like a boy is sort of a big problem, a big issue. The mother is saying Nicole should take her as her personal assistant and train her. Nicole said she had a personal assistant, but the mother said, just take her as your backup. I want her to be dressing like you. I want her to be going where you go. And when Nicole was refusing, next thing, Bisola's mom goes into blackmail mode, like, who stood by you when all
and the vultures
when all the other chairmen, all the other people in that company did not want to stand by your side? Who stood by you? And she said it was you, an uncle. And on that premise, she agreed to help them, not for any other reason. And then she was asking Bisola's mom, like, why do you want Bisola to do this? And Bisola's mom is like, oh my, I just want to see my daughter in a dress. And let me just tell you, all this conversation is super, well, I guess it's realistic, because there do be parents that will be doing like that. But it was being treated as if, oh, this her dressing like a boy, just very on the nose, that she wants her daughter in a wedding dress. She wants her daughter to meet a man and hanging around. Nicole will help her achieve that. And then I'm guessing from the previous scene when Nicole insulted her that Nicole is going to lose her man to this tomboy. And guess what? Of course, something like that, hints to that appear, because the very next day, Bisola comes to work and she tries to confront her ex-boyfriend, like, yes, I work here now. And I'm thinking, that is very, very stupid behavior. That man dumped you and you went and got a job at his company. That is stalking. That is embarrassing. And then you finish getting the job in the company and you're coming to tell him, like, yes, I work here now. Like, what do you want him to do? The boy that said, and so just think I'm afraid of you. And as they're having that conversation, Ruth Kadiri comes out. Turns out she's the ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. Trust Ruth Kadiri to give herself a man in all her movies, man. She walks in like, baby, what are you doing with this girl? And Bisola just continues to show that she's a she person, because Bisola goes, boyfriend snatcher, when I was cleaning him up, where were you? Now that I've cleaned him up, you have come to take him. And Ruth Kadiri is like, hey, Crayon, how about you clean yourself first before you clean another person? And that joke is supposed to kind of land, and I don't know if they never cut it, but Crayon is for coloring. I'm guessing she was trying to say eraser, for cleaning somebody up, but what do I know? Anyway, you won't believe it, Bisola now tried to attack the new girl. Can you imagine? Very, very ghetto, like, I mean, I understand why anybody would not want to be around such an energy. So the girl, Ruth Kadiri, I didn't get her name, I don't think she has one, thoroughly insulted her, finished insulting her, like, I don't know the kind of men you want to hang with, maybe bouncers and blah blah blah, but this one is mine and I'm keeping him. And if you look at the boys that some of them are dragging, Osas with her like clear skin, and Ruth Kadiri with her tattoos and her fine girl. But I guess And actually, the thing is, on a day drag, sha, I'm sure that see people are dragged lesser men. I don't know. Like when I say you people, it's more like I'm trying to be outside the uni. But who knows? We've all done crazy things for love. Yes, I get it. But the man they were dragging. Oh, anyways, that went by, and Bisolana started crying. So she went into the elevator, like she was the last person in the elevator. And before you know it, Brad walks into the elevator too. So he's in the elevator, and then there are other people in the elevator, and it's not too crowded. Oh my god, I don't know. It was giving Indian and Korean movie because it was not too crowded, but for some reason, Brad turns himself and is like facing her in the alien. Siba, it's not right. No strange man should like face me in an elevator when it's even no matter how crowded it is. Please show me your back. But this man's hand was literally like hovering above her in an elevator, and to make matters worse, he now got her erection. The erection that has been an issue in the beginning since this movie started. You know, the whole big thing is that girls don't erect him. Just in that elevator, he was aroused by a strange woman, and this is their cute. This is how the love happened. It was embarrassing. A lot of crotch shots, so many crotch shots, and they showed it. His crotch, his cucumber like erection, man. I've spent too much time on that particular thing, but it was embarrassing for me. I had to look away, man. It shamed me. And then he went and he told his friend about the girl that caused him to like make his skinny rise after so many time of thinking that his skinny will never rise again. She rose the dry bones, and his friend was not telling him maybe you're healed after all. But where is this girl? He said, I'ma find this girl that make my kidney to rise. So he went in search of the girl. He was looking for. He did not see her anywhere. He was really looking for her, but he did not see her. He then continued looking and searching. He still did not see her. He was telling his friend, oh, I cannot find her. Meanwhile, this girl is working for Bisola. Bisola is working for Nicole, and Nicole is giving her a hard time, like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Why are you not doing this? Do this, do that. Why are you not doing this? And then one day, Eunice and Nicole and Bisola drives Nicole back to her house, and there she and Brad, they jam again. Dun 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 dun. They meet. Brad is looking at her all distracted, she's looking at Brad all distracted. They go into the house, and Nicole commands Bisola to serve Brad a drink, and she serves Brad a drink, and she and Brad, Nicole for some reason disappears, and she and Brad, they get to talking all by themselves, and she's already telling him like I look into your eyes, you don't seem like a kind of guy that, you know, would like want to be with my sister, because you have a storm behind your eyes type of woo woo share that is usually reserved for some type of women. She was giving pick me, you know, that like that's your cousin's man, you should not even be creating that environment. But the man was giving her googly eyes, and she was falling for it. And then Nicole came and separated them, like he does not need your nonsensical stories. So but the thing is, prior to this, she working for Nicole was not like that downright rude and mean to her. But then when it came to she and then Brad and Nicole was suddenly made like a core villain, like she was made a terrible person, and she started treating this her sister like absolute like this her cousin like absolute trash. So she tells Bisola to go warm food, and Bisola warms the food, and then they're eating in the dining. He asks a question, and Bisola goes ahead to start answering, like, shut up your dirty mouth, it's her boyfriend, you are dirty. And you're already talking, why are you talking? He was talking to her. Anyways, Nicole, when it was Nicole's time to tell this man how her day was. Her conversation was very, very worldly. She was talking about a man that liked her, and I guess that is not very, very inspirational. But after that dinner, for some reason, Nicole leaves Bisola and Brad alone again, and this time they start to talk. They are just talking. I've even forgotten what the nonsensicalities they were talking about, but they were talking how she's so complicated and how she's so cool and how, you know, she's so this and that, and then the next thing they take us to his crotch again. Oh, it is rising, and he uses his clothes to cover it. But like, this is to tell you that the attraction he's feeling for her is strong, and at this point it's beginning to turn my stomach, because no relationship that is built on this will be attractive to me. Like, if there was a man that I know that every time he was just around me having a conversation, he was getting wood like back to back, I would be wary of him. But anyways, Nicole comes from wherever she went to wearing the same evening gown, so it's not like she went to beat or do anything reasonable. She just comes down still in her makeup and sees Brad off, or like, you know, sends Brad home. And then later she then sends Bisola home, and as Bisola was going, she saw Brad outside in the night waiting for her. And this for me would raise red flags, because it means you're a sneaky motherfucker. But for some reason she's okay with that. Brad is telling her that, oh, he wanted to drive her home, blah blah blah, and then they entered Brad's car. And what more do they show us? They show us his crotch again, that he's having more wood because of her. And I don't know how this is supposed to feel good for her. I don't know how this is supposed to look good for them and their nonsensical relationship, but that is it. He has wood. She makes him get wood. Do you get it? It means she's special. She has cured him of whatever the problem that was with him for many years. Well, oh, they traumatized me. It was literally very, very traumatizing, having to see that cucumber crotch over and over again. Oh my god, you don't know what I went through. Anyways, he drives her home, and he goes home and he's happy, he's singing. His mother is like, wow, you look good. And he gets a flashback to when they're in the car and they are singing, I got a feeling. I got a feeling that, and she was trying so hard to be like, to be cool like a man. She was like, I got a feeling that never I got a feeling. It was so cringe. So cringe. But yeah, the bitter is sweet. Anyways, from there he starts to, you know, kind of fall in love with her. He starts to cook for her. He'll be cooking, he'll be singing. His mother was like, wow, who is this girl that is making you all happy like this? Wow, I like that for you. And then his mother, Amebo, now went and told the Nicole, like, oh, since she started dating this my son, he has become so happy. Oh, I appreciate you for that. You know, all the food he cooks for you, you're making him such a lovely man. I can tell when a man is in love. When she's saying all that, Nicole is like, But then Nicole goes and she's thinking, well, he has not called me in 3 days, and he has never given me any food. So who is that man with? Who is they go with? Turns out while all that thing was happening, he was with the tomboy, Bisola. That was it all. That was how their love now started to blossom and blossom and blossom. You know, like, why do you love me? And a lot more of like repetitive conversation. Along the line, Bisola is asking Brad, what are you doing? Is Nicole your girlfriend? And the way she's saying it, you can see that she wants him. But then Brad is like, explains the whole situation to her, that they were basically supposed to date for 3 months, and if things didn't work out, that they were following, just trying to make his mom happy, as he's almost turning 40. And she takes that thing that he's telling her and continues to go out with him behind her cousin's back. Anyways, along the line, they of course start to fall in love, but then she is feeling guilty because she saw her ex-boyfriend with another man, and she was telling Brad that, knowing how painful this thing is, she would not want to inflict that kind of pain on her cousin. But by this time, the cousin was already suspicious of her, and then one of those days just walks in on the two of them hugging, I think, and she slaps her and fires her, and you know, that was basically it. Eventually she tells Brad, know that she's not finna be with him, and she carries all her things and moves to Port Harcourt. Before she leaves, she and Brad had this one conversation, which was actually where Nicole caught them about why he fell in love with her in the first place, is the fact that she's the person that makes him rise, and why he does not rise with other women is because he had a traumatic event from when he was young. He tried to be with a girl that really wanted him, and he couldn't get himself up, that he tried doctors and therapy, and none of that worked until he met her. So I guess that is such a big thing, of course, you know. So she was like, so it's all because of sex to you? He's not said, no, you know, if it was about that, I would have tried already. But baby, I ain't tried yet. I want to marry you. I'm going to make you Miss Bisola, whatever his name was. And she was buying that, you know, she was drinking all of that in. So anyway, when he finally breaks her heart, or when they finally part ways, because he really begged her not to go, but she said, no, I'm going. I cannot do this to my cousin. She moves to Port Harcourt, and then Brad's mom is still pressuring him like, marry Nicole, and he says, no, mother, I'm not finna marry Nicole. Bisola is the girl that I love. She made me feel like a man again. Do you know what I've been going through? You here, you my mom, but you don't see me. And then eventually the mother realizes all her terrible mistakes, and she goes to Nicole with her son, and she says, Nicole, please, I'm sorry for keeping your hopes up about you and my son. My son don't love you. There's nothing wrong with that. He's not a bad man. And that reminded me of that scene in Game of Thrones, that red wedding, when Robb Stark went to beg Walder Frey that sorry he'd not marry her daughter again, and that was it, he lost his life. Do not break your promises and your proposals. Anyways, when the mother now finished doing that thing, she now went to Port Harcourt and saw this girl coming out of a gym, and is like, hey, I'm looking to lose weight. And the girl is like, oh, do you need a personal trainer, blah blah blah. She now said, I am looking for a wife for my son. The camera stayed there, and that was it. Like, after a moment, it faded, and I'm like, wait, what kind of stupid conversation is that? I don't know. I bet she don't meet her before, because I don't even think she asked, who is your son? Just imagine meeting a stranger on the road like, I'm looking for a wife for my son. Waiting concern me. Go and look for a wife for your stupid son. What's my business? Anyways, this guy was still in the Brad was inside the house, killing himself, bothering about what am I gonna do? And then he called his mom like, Mom, I've not seen you since. And I said, I went to somewhere, I'm coming. And then the mother now tells him she has a surprise for him, and guess what the surprise is? Osas Igodaro, Bisola in a dress. They're like, oh, she looks so cute, she looks so pretty. So do you get it? From there they got married. She's in a dress. She now started wearing wigs. So I mean, all the while in the movie, she was a tomboy in a durag with her microblading, and now she's a proper lady in a dress with her wig, and you know, she's been transformed. And he started this movie with some erectile issues, and now he can perform in the other room. I guess it is glory be to God. Everybody is happy. Nicole is not that angry, and this movie is very crazy. I mean, that is just what it is, man. Like, these movies, these low budget YouTube movies, they have revolutionized filmmaking. You do not need a big budget. You do not need coherence. You do not need to want to change the world. Just give people drama once a week. That is basically it. And when I started watching this movie, Heart Budget, I swear I don't know what the heart was budgeting, but apparently this is it. A tomboy. So if your bet was that she was going to find somebody that will love her the way she is, you are correct. And if your bet was that she was going to change into a lady and then find somebody that will love her, you are still correct, I guess. So it's a win-win situation, la vida loca for everybody. And if you got to this part of the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe dropping a comment on what you think. Anyway, my name is Trixie, and here on the Trixiverse we just hang. See ya. Bye.